There we go. Oh yeah, great. So I got Instagram here, got Facebook over there. We've got the real Sessionwire stream over here. Um, so I'll be talking to everybody. I think anybody that's watching on Instagram, go to our Facebook page right now and click on the link that's in the description of that video, and you can join us in Sessionwire right here. Check it out.
Yep. What he said.
There.
You gonna give me some HQ audio?
I should do that, shouldn't I? Yeah. All right. Anybody that's in Instagram, go to our Facebook page.
Coolio.
I'm ending this stream right now. Oops. Okay. Go to our Facebook.
That's what they said at the nuclear reactor.
I made an attempt to get the Mac Mini set up for this, but I need a Thunderbolt 3 hub. Connect all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing how fast you run out of ports. I've got the Mac Studio and everything was plugged into the back, and I was feeling so good about not having any dongles. And then I added my Roland A49 MIDI keyboard, and I'm like, uh-oh. So now I have a dongle on the front of it.
Oh no. I wonder, is my video lagging my voice in Sessionwire a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got too many things on the go here. We're gonna do this. How's that? This is better, hey? Yeah, I think that's better.
I think it's a bit better.
Okay. We're not going to use this. All right. So for anybody joining the Facebook Live here, welcome. Please click on the link and join us in the studio directly. We're about to start writing and recording a song in real time.
I think I should probably start a new project. Yeah.
Probably, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Let's close this one out.
Oops. Okay.
So I'm using Logic and you're using Pro Tools.
That is correct. We're using different services or different platforms here. Let's start. Try this. Try recording. Streamlabs.
So
yeah.
Should I maybe I can just share my screen and just go through the setup?
Yeah. Let's start there. Yeah.
Because it's like so easy. Okay, so let's just share my screen here. Just using the latest Logic, and
make this bigger.
I'm just gonna call this GTR1, for lack of a better thing. And on this, I'm going to put in a bias FX mono to stereo. I just downloaded this app a couple days ago. Don't really know what I'm doing yet, but it's a lot of fun. I'm just using the very first patch that popped up called American Dream. Nope, I've already done that. Instead, go to Sessionwire and take our Black Friday sale. But anyway, okay, so here's guitar 1, and you won't be able to hear anything because I don't have a Sessionwire plugin on my session yet. So I'm just going to go to the stereo output, and I'm going to go down to audio units, Sessionwire, and add a stereo Sessionwire send. There it is. And so when I play the guitar, if I put this on input, it would help. Here we go. Oh. Wrong input. That sounds cool. I think I want to use that for all my meetings from now on. There we go. Okay, so I just selected input 2 of my audio interface here. That's going into the Bias FX mono to stereo, and then I've got a stereo out plug-in on my master fader and Logic, and that's it.
Now, just before we go too much deeper, Dell is in the comment section here. He's in the chat feature in the bottom. This is the right-hand side, I think.
Yep. Hey, Del.
Yeah, Dell, feel free to ask any questions in the chat if you want. There's also a little mixer icon straight below everything, right in the center. You can pull up the little mixer tray and adjust the HQ audio or mute our. If you don't want to hear our talk back, you can mute that as well. Have a little look around, see what you think. Let us know in the comments there in the chat. We're happy to answer any questions you might have as well. For anybody joining on Facebook, copy the link in the description. Put it in your web browser and join us directly in this session, just like Dell has. We're just about to begin recording a song. We were working on this yesterday, and the power went out in my studio, and we lost everything. Thank you, Epcor.
And later on, we'll be putting a link in the comments for an uninterruptible power supply.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Dell, will this be available for people that don't necessarily want to make them download the app? Yes, that is exactly what this is all about. So believe it or not, all of us, Robin and I, we are in web browsers at the moment. Neither one of us has an app running. It's all web browser based. We invited you to the session by sending you a link. You're in our studio, in my studio. You can see that it's labeled, I think, over here. Brendan's Sessionwire Studio. Funny you should ask, Dell. Same price. We have a deal going on right now. So here's how this works. If you sign up for version 2 right now, and you enter the code SWBF22, you can get this version of Sessionwire when it's launched for $99 for the first year. You have to sign up for version 2 right now with that coupon, SWBF22, and you'll get this version when we launch in the next few weeks for the first year anyways. And we're going to be running promotions, I'm sure, in the future for future versions and future product tiers. But, you know, you've been in the comment section. We know who you are. We'll look after you.
Exactly. This is all about you, by the way.
All about Dell?
It's all about our members.
It is. It really is. So yes, this version, if you wanted to connect a client, like for example, if we wanted to bring somebody else into the session with video, we'd send them the link to my studio and they would join us and be able to speak to us and talk to us. But for things like webinars and master classes, the way that you've joined Dell, this is how it would work. Send a link. My card is already on file. All right. Well, you can shoot me an email after if you want. Send me an email, support@sessionwire.com, and we'll make sure we get you set up with the deal. And we might even be able to, wink, wink, get you into this version. We're in early access for this version right now. I just realized that my studio lighting is horrendous right now, so let me remedy this situation here. Come on.
Yeah, I think Sessionwire right now is the only app of its kind in the entire world where you can actually click a link and join a session and hear high quality audio out of a separate output, which has some interesting applications for.
There we go. Oh yes.
Everybody, artists, plug-in manufacturers, producers, A&R people, fill in the blank. I mean, it's going to be pretty awesome. It already is awesome, but because we're using it right now.
We are. Do you want to? Should we work on the? It's the most affordable. Source Connect does it, but it's expensive. Yes, it's expensive, and we've heard that it doesn't work a lot of the time. So, you know.
Don't know that from personal experience, but I've had so many people tell me that they said the setup was a little bit of a challenge, but I know it's a good product. I know people use it a lot.
It requires an IT person. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Sessionwire does not require an IT person for setup.
Yeah, the barrier of entry is answering the question, can you click a link?
Exactly.
And type your name. Yeah.
Type your name. Yeah, that's kind of a requirement as well.
Yeah.
zoom in just a hair there.
Yeah, I got this cam thing I think is not on here. Anyway, we should probably not get bogged down in webcam settings, but I got to run it anyway. There we go. Okay, now I got some. I turned me yellow though. Oh well, I don't care.
Some strange stuff going on with my studio today here too, but through the magic of Sessionwire, you'll hear everything wrong with my setup, which is great.
Well, that's great. And that's one of the most important things in music production is hearing what's wrong. Little anecdote. I was I can't mention his name, but a very well-known mixer. I was working at a studio in Vancouver, and he was behind the console, and I was out in the coffee area, and he came out and he's walking around. I said, "Hey, how's it going? What are you up to?" He says, "Oh, I'm mixing." I said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind going in and hanging out with you while you're mixing." He goes, "No, I'm mixing right now." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Oh, I just put it up and I hit play and I walk around, and if I hear something that bugs me, I go in and fix it."
Yep, I've done that lots too, especially when I was in school. Play it really loud in the control room and walk out into the live room and just listen, walk around.
It's the antithesis of soloing the hi-hat and starting to EQ from there. Yeah.
Exactly.
So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do you want to start with a guitar part and then do a drum part, or
let's do you remember kind of what we were doing yesterday?
I do.
Remember the form and everything?
I think it was AABA.
AABA, but the first A was longer.
And back at it. And then back at it, right?
Cool. You want to throw the guitar down first?
That was 128 BPM?
128, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us on Facebook, there's a link in the description. Copy that link, put it in your web browser, and you can join us in Sessionwire. You don't have to watch on Facebook. You'll be able to hear everything the way that it's supposed to be heard in here.
You might want to throw down a note on the current limitation where they have to join on desktop on Google Chrome.
That's true, yeah. So I think, did I put that in the description? I can't remember. Join, yeah, copy it. Don't right-click and copy it. Like, actually copy it and make sure it looks exactly like the link, because Facebook adds a bunch of gobbledygook at the end of it. So make sure that the link that you see looks nice and short. It should end with a little listener tag. Make sure that that's the end of it. Put it in your web browser, Google Chrome, on a desktop for now. We have mobile browsers coming soon. And come on in. Join us in the session.
Yeah, and we will be adding, well, we're in the process today of making sure that this works with Safari and iOS. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of little differences, though, that have nothing to do with Sessionwire. It's just the way the browser implements certain things. But it'll still get the job done, especially for joining live streams with a high-quality audio channel, which is what we're doing right now. So
exactly.
All right. So it's 128 beats a minute, yeah?
Yep.
I think I already asked you that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me, I'll just plow through this here.
Yeah, and just mute your talk back while you're...
Good call.
Auto mute coming soon.
Yeah, please. 1 second, my talk back, or my click track wasn't properly
good.
Clicking. Okay, there we go. All right, so back at it, muting. My fingers feel like sausages. I have not been playing for a long time, so it's kind of like,
Good enough.
anyway, good enough for now. Yeah. So I promise I'm gonna start woodshedding again. It's just been doing too much Cody stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna bounce this out and send it to you with our famous face drag.
Sure. I was gonna make sure
Okay.
that, yeah, for anybody watching on Facebook or YouTube, please join us. Click the link in the description, and you can drop in with us right here.
I'm gonna cancel that, and I'm just gonna share the process.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what we're all about here. So okay, back over to Logic, share screen. I'll get rid of this and move that over. Advertising. Okay, and so I'm just going to go export one region as an audio file, 24-bit wave, and I'll just call this I already named it SW demo. Export. All right, and then I will unshare my screen and go find that file. Download desktop. There we go. Okay, so well, can I screen share the drag on this side?
You can.
Okay. Hopefully, I won't create. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to drag this file here over to Brendan's video on my other screen, which you can't see. And it says drop a file to start a transfer. And
Got it over here, and I'm going to click accept. And it immediately starts downloading to my web browser's default downloads folder. It should actually prompt me right here. Yeah, there we go. Prompt, save. And now on my side, my computer, yeah, move into the M1 later today. That's what's going to happen for real this time. I'm going to go into Pro Tools, File, Import Audio. And a little window pops up, and here's the demo thing that he just sent. Open. And it's going to ask me if I want to save it to the project folder. I do. I'm going to click right here, add to my clip list.
I guess you can't share your screen with all the stuff you got going on there without.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, I suppose. It's going to Facebook.
Oh, well, okay.
But not to anybody in this call, I guess. Oops. It's pretty standard, importing into Pro Tools.
Yeah.
So now.
Not much of a mystery there.
No, I'll share my desktop now here. Share. So now you can see my Pro Tools session with the audio, and I've got the Send plugin in my session as well. So when I hit play, we should hear. Oh yeah, I just got to hear the end of this beat. Oh, the ubiquitous Pro Tools crash.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Here we go. It's starting. Let's try this.
There needs to be a sound effect with that. Dell was just asking if face dragging works in the browser too, and the answer is absolutely. It's actually been much improved from Sessionwire 2.0, and for a bunch of reasons, but it's quite spectacular to be. We've been testing with 2 and 3 gig files.
There we go. Got an interesting use case. I'm going to try this. Film mix reviews. Yeah, that is, believe it or not, a use case that some of our users use this for already. Share your screen, play your film composition to whoever needs to hear it. they can hear it in time, depending on the buffer size of your DAW, of course, but works really well. Let's see if I can get this to... yes. Just need a nice little crossfade in here, that's all. Wow. Yeah, okay. Great. Yeah, smart tool. Yeah. I don't claim to be the fastest at Pro Tools, but I can get around.
When I
all right.
started teaching audio engineer, we had a smart tool. It was silver and it was about this long.
Yeah, the razor
I
blade.
People still can't believe I used to teach.
So you should be able to hear this, I think.
Oh yeah.
I might have to gain up your guitar a little bit because it's there. Let's try.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I got to mess with that bias effects output. I haven't had a chance to like mess with it at all. So
Yeah, it's we're busy doing other things at Sessionwire most of the time. We don't get to do this all the time.
this is like a holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw some drums down. You can still see my screen, I think, yeah?
Yep. Okay. Let her rip.
Get rid of that. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Oh, I do want, however, my little screen.
Yeah, it is, Dell, and we're going to make a habit of doing this because it's just so much fun. But we have a lot of people that we're going to be bringing into this vortex over the next couple of months, which is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It's exciting and terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
Standing at the door of the plane, waiting to jump out.
Kind of like that, yeah. And without a parachute.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Try this. Pro Tools crash.
I know. I heard it. I heard it go. I think you got the rest of it though. Up to that point, pretty close.
Yeah.
Close
enough for horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you got to get that M1 fired up there. I think we're dealing with some hardware limitations, considering you have every stream on the planet going simultaneously too.
I'm gonna do it one more time.
Okay.
One more time. 2010. It's a 2010, Dell. Come on. It's better than 2009.
But hey, it's a testament to the fact that what's going on right now is happening on this 2010 computer, and everything is almost all working.
Yeah.
Especially Sessionwire, so that's great.
Yeah, anybody that wants to know, it's Pro Tools, Sessionwire, Streamlabs, desktop. Yeah, that's why I stopped using mine. Yeah, mine's going to become a server pretty quick. I might even sell it next week and bite the bullet on a Mac Studio. I've got the Mac Mini. I'm going to use the Mac Mini.
The Mac Minis are pretty skookum little machines.
They haul some serious butt for sure. I've been hesitant to move all of my stuff over to it, but this is really starting.
Well, just move over what you need.
Yeah.
For doing this kind of thing, especially.
Exactly.
I'm in the middle of trying to update my contact on this new machine. I got a Mac Studio, and wow, that's an adventure. But
Yep. Okay. Drums. Take 2. Come on, Pro Tools. Don't do that.
you
Here,
can do this.
here we go.
Made it.
Stick twirls. I think
I
you
don't
know
know.
what it was. It was Sound ID reference running in the on my master output.
Ah, cool. That
Okay.
was awesome. So if we're in the studio, I might go. There's a bit of a pong in the snare drum,
Yeah, it's a
and
tonal.
yeah, it's tonal. So if we're in the studio, I might say we should change the tone a bit, but it's great. Like I'm just only bringing that up not to be, that guy, but I'm
Be
just
that
saying
guy.
I hear what you're playing like we're in the studio, which is kind of amazing.
It really is. So let's deal with that. So as it happens, I didn't actually record a 2 mix of the drums to send to you yet. So we're gonna dive into the snare drum really quick and deal with it right now. And I'll bounce you a 2 mix that you can have to fly into um, your session. So here's Pro Q2. Pro Q3 is on sale, and I'm trying really hard not to go and buy it.
I have to
Damn
have
it.
to get my wife to zap strap my hands behind my back right now because I keep seeing these offers and
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's
way
pretty
too
bad.
easy to buy stuff.
So let's have a listen here. Skip to the drums, please. So it's not the bottom mic. It's not getting any of that. So I'm just going to put this on the top mic.
There she comes.
Right there. Nice. It's
Much better.
still got a bit of that tone, but
That's all right.
yeah, it's the lively drums is what gives it the mojo.
This is called alley fusion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what it is called.
I don't know. It's going to be awesome. Dell
Kirk
says
off with plug-in lines. Dell
I,
is trying to lead us into
I just
into.
bought it the other day. I just bought it, and you know what? I can't run it on my 2010 Mac Pro because it's only from like Big Sur on. So, reason number 2 to move to the Mac Mini, the M1.
Yeah, I'm having the feeling with my contact that I'm about to hit the message that's like I don't want to run Rosetta on this thing, and
Mm-mm.
I'm pretty sure that my version of complete is not going to work without an upgrade, which would be tragic. So
Kind of a bummer, yeah. I'm gonna record this really quick, and because of the way that I have this set up, we're going to listen to it all the way through, and I'll just print it to a. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. That takes too long. We're just going to bounce it offline.
Sure.
Which bus do I want? Don't want a bus. Yes, I do want a bus. I want the drum stem bus. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Yes, bounce. And boom. Uh-oh, what does antelope say? Sometimes that antelope thing. Okay, where'd my finder go? Let's find this file and drag it onto Robin's face here. So I'm going to go into my recording projects here. Oh my goodness, antelope, really? Go away. Webinar template. I'm going to rename this. I'm going to say Sessionwire. Oops. Really?
That's a beach ball.
Yeah, it's decided it wants to open my control panel on me here.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, no.
It's been nice knowing you, everybody.
We'll see what happens here. SW drums. Take 2. I'm going to take this file, drag it onto Robin's face. Even though I'm screen sharing, I can still transfer it to him.
Oh, there we go. I get accept incoming file transfer from Brendan. And I'm accepting. And now it's receiving the file.
And this is limited by the bandwidth on both sides of the connection. And because I am doing all kinds of things streaming on this computer, I am the one limiting this transfer right now.
Still moving pretty fast. It's got like 960 kbps, 1.13 megabits a second.
Bad.
So it's I got it. So I'll just save this file. And that was drums take 2 wave, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to stop screen sharing, I can screen share.
Yes, I do want to stop screen sharing. And
then,
I see there are a couple of people watching on Facebook. Jesus and Tom, welcome. Yeah, please click the link to join us in the studio.
Yeah, caveat being it's got to be Chrome on desktop right now, but that's changing soon. So just so you know.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm just going to grab that download, which is right here, and drag it into Logic. There it is. That was easy. Park it at the beginning here. No, I don't remember. I think I had you had 1 bar in, and then so I'm gonna move this
1 bar and then a fill. So you just chop that 1 bar off, and
well, I think that way it should work. Nope, 1 too far. There we go. So that's pretty painless.
Yeah, that was awesome. That sounds great.
Yeah. So far, we've been able to use. Did you explain the high quality audio thing at the beginning? How you had to turn it on for me, or did we just kind of do that before we started rolling?
We just kind of started rolling. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Brendan is the producer because he started the call. He initiated the call. Whoever initiates the call, that's the producer. So if you have control issues, you definitely want to be the one that initiates the call all the time. And when you're the producer, you have the ability to enable or disable high quality audio, HQ audio, for anybody in the call. So if we had 3 or 4 people on this call, Brendan could select from anybody on the call who he would like to transmit HQ audio to him, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. And that's indicated on my screen by a little orange Sessionwire logo. If my high quality audio isn't on, it's gray, indicating that it's not working. So, all right. So where do we go from here? Did you want to talk about any drummy, micy things as a bit of an interlude, and then?
Yeah, interlude, and it'll give you time to come up with another guitar part, because I think today's all about guitars.
All right. No pressure.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we had a live stream on the weekend, and one of the applications of Sessionwire, and one of the great things about it when working remotely with producers or engineers is that you can really dial in tones and mic placement and everything from anywhere in the world. So, for example, Robin said, "Hey, your snare drum sounds a little bit pingy." That could have something to do with mic placement or dampening on the snare drum that I can change, and he can audition in real time. So, kind of a cool example that I like to demonstrate is the phase relationship between the microphones on the snare drum. So we'll jump into that really quick, because it's a pretty stark difference. Although Sessionwire translates any kind of tonal change really well. We'll have a quick look at my snare drum here in this session. So I've got a top and bottom mic on my snare drum. The top is a Bayer Dynamic M201 TG, and on the bottom is a Sennheiser 441 from the 80s. Really nice microphones, pick up the snare drum really well, but if they are in the wrong place on the snare drum, they can end up out of phase, or their polarity will be not in alignment. So what that does is it kind of changes the tone of the snare drum, and most of the time it's the low end of the snare drum that disappears, because the lower frequencies have larger wavelengths, and they're easier to cancel out. So if you can imagine two basically like waves, that's a peak and a trough. If the peak and a trough of two microphones are in alignment, that sound would sound nice and full. But if they are reversed, so a peak and a trough, and then a trough and a peak, and you add those two microphones together, they cancel each other out. So let's have a quick listen to this snare drum here. This is what it sounds like when the microphones are in phase. Sounds so good, so good. And then I've got this little trim plug-in here that's got this polarity inversion button. I'm going to click this, and it's going to flip the phase of my top mic so that it's upside down, and we'll hear the difference. How was that?
That was phasey.
Phasey. Quick shout out to Ray Ayotte, Canadian drum maker that made this drum with
drums only.
Yeah, Greg Keplinger made the shell of Keplinger drums, and Ray Ayotte put all the hardware on it. They had a little thing in the 90s where they made these Keplinger snare drums. They just sound ridiculous.
I remember when drums only was down on Kingsway in Vancouver when I first came to town. And I went in there, it's like, oh, I didn't realize so many people played drums.
Everybody plays drums.
I came from the bush. Well, not really, but a very small town. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you got another guitar part ready to go?
Oh, I don't know. I can just noodle a bit and know this may damage your brain or whatever. I don't know. I can mess around a little bit. I got a distorted sound. Again, this is like the second sound I picked out of the bias list here. It was originally, I think it was supposed to be a Brian May kind of sound, but I just added a tape echo on it. So there's a bit of a tail. But you can hear the kind of that nasally Brian May kind of thing going on in there. But
breakup's nice too, actually.
So I don't know. So I can just play some note over top. And what this is kind of a real thing because like if we were doing this, we wouldn't know what we're doing. So I just say, hey, I'll try some things, and Brendan could go, oh, I like that, or I don't like that, or we should quit for the day and go do something else. So let me see. I want to hit that.
We can't hear your HQ audio right now either.
Oh man, are you kidding me?
No.
See,
I am not kidding you.
you should have yelled at me.
I didn't want to ruin the moment. That's the other thing about Sessionwire. It makes it really possible to ruin the moment just by yelling at somebody through the connection.
Well, which is why I got to get the emotion things back.
Yeah. Well, we kind of have them in the chat. You know, I can give.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Del, how you doing? Tell us how you're doing.
Del check. Right on. Okay, so you can hear me now?
Could hear you for a second there, but nope.
Oh.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So I guess I can just, there it is. I'm just going to, just like raw noodle here.
Sure.
Yep. So at this point, I stop and go, I want to hit that. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we should hit that.
I just want to hit that with an altered thing. And then end up back there. But anyway, I'm just going to erase that.
For anybody, in the studio here with us, you can mute Robin's talkback while he's playing too, and they will hear his HQ. It's fine. Everybody has control of it,
That's true.
Yeah, I love that the team is actually good musicians. Yes, good point. So actually, yeah, everybody that works at Sessionwire is a musician. There isn't a single person here that doesn't play an instrument really, really well, which is, I think, also an industry first for a communications platform.
Well, we're trying to build something that we want too. That's the selfish part of it, but the non-selfish part of it is we know that if it works for us, it's going to work for millions of other people that want to do the same thing. So
that's right.
That's kind of the idea. But, so that's really aggressive against the back. I'd probably tone it down a bit and go for something a little bit more.
I think it's fine. I can hear another part that might get you to record after this.
What's that?
It's like
you know what? It's funny that you should say that because before we started, I was thinking of that exact same thing with that other sound. The same basically the same basic sound, but on different pickup, and I was like, whoa, didn't change. Ignored that. Oh, what was that? I kind of did it on that one. I went, yeah. So I could just do that.
Yeah, or know, it's like a little ear candy.
Yeah. You know what? This is really, really close to a song that I actually wrote that I'd like to record called Hieronymus. After Bosch. I'm a big fan of the Bosch stuff. Michael Connolly, if you're out there, you should get on Sessionwire. But anyway, he's got this jazz thing going on. So I wrote this really sort of, anyway, it's kind of a cool tune, but it's got a really strong melodic hook to it.
Oh yeah.
But it's good. The only problem I have with it is the rhythm part is almost like a ripoff of Donald Fagen, because it's got that.
You know what? If you're not ripping anybody off, you're doing it wrong.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's all an amalgam of everybody that you rip off, you know.
Yeah, well,
Becomes a new thing.
That's definitely how you learn stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if I don't know if I want to spend too much time committing to something on the noodle front there, but how much more time do we have on this?
Oh, we got about 40 minutes.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, we got lots of time. I'm going to do some tambourine stuff, I think.
So,
who's that? I heard that. Who's talking?
Yeah, I think that was a rocket chat thing or something.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rich.
Oops.
Rich can't mention his last name unless I get sign off from his manager.
Is he in rocket chat?
No, he's on Sessionwire. He just said, "Awesome, this is a game changer." So.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't you do some tambourine or percussion or something? Let me think about this for a minute, and I'm going to see if I can come up with something sort of like a melodic vibe that I can do on that with that more aggressive sound, so it's not just random noodling.
I'm gonna share my screen because there's two ways that I do tambourine. One is to play it, and the other is to use this plugin. Where is it? It's called something. I will know it when I see it. You know, it's funny, you go to like look for plugins and all of a sudden you can't see them. You don't know what they are called anymore. It's called, oh goodness, did I uninstall it? Why would I do that? No. Oh goodness, Brendan. Oh, is it a contact library? It might be a contact library. Robin's noodling. By the way, if you're just joining the Facebook Live, please copy the link in the description, put it in your web browser, and join us in the session here in Sessionwire. In Sessionwire. Come on, contact. There we go. Shimmer, shake, strike. That's what it's called. Oh boy. My computer's really enjoying this today. Let's see here. Oh, I don't have a MIDI keyboard over here. This could be a little tricky. Let's see. Come here. Get over here.
I just realized this is the ultimate tool for guitar players because I can mute myself and I can sit here and noodle my face off and not bother anybody.
Yeah, it's great.
I can work on a part and nobody cares.
Okay, here we go. So we got. Oh yeah. Okay. So why can't I hear that? Mono room floor. What the heck just happened there? Go away. Go away. Okay, the output of this is going to be the drum bus. Drum aux. There we go. Let's see. Well, it's definitely doing something. What do I have soloed? There, that's why. There we go. Okay. Let's try this again. There we go. I want patterns, so we're up in this area here. Okay. Good. Yeah. Mixer. Mute. Pattern. Great. Pattern. Swing. Let's see what this sounds like. No. No. Oh dear. Right, it's because I don't have a pattern written in here, is that why? Quarter note. Struck percussion, triplet feel, there we go. That's really abrasive. Tambourine, strike, shake. Shimmer, there we go. Steel, tambourine dry, tambourine brass. There we go. It's going to be too much work. That's already too much work.
Why don't you just grab a thing and smack it with your hand?
I have to go find one. I thought it was going to save me time because I don't have to go find one. But let's do this instead. My overhead left.
Let me see if I can go find the lead guitar plugin where you just push a button.
Overhead. Left. That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's great.
Yeah. Much easier than trying to program.
I know. It's like, wait, you just did that in one pass, or
I was feeling optimistic. Just this would be really cool to program something really nice sounding.
yeah, it's
No.
funny. I'm Phil Collins. Oh, and I use a drum machine, and I make a massive hit song off it. I'm Don Henley, and I use a drum machine on
I know. Yeah. But
my album.
when you have a budget of a few $100,000 and you can just sit in the studio and monkey around with a drum machine for days, I probably would do that too. That'd be fun. But I can also play the drums. So.
Which is good. Well, actually, that's one of the reasons why Sessionwire exists is because um, my son is a very talented musician, and he had nobody to actually work with because we lived in a remote area. And one of the things was the drum programming. He was overall he was really good, but there were some certain things he was doing which were kind of little off base. And I was thinking, wow, would it ever be great for him to connect with somebody, play him the part, and they go, "Oh, you mean this?" And then they actually play the part, and he goes, "Oh, thanks very much." So now here we are. That was 2014 or something.
I'm just seeing now that we got some comments on our YouTube thread too that I haven't been ignoring. I just haven't seen. Dell, oh yeah, it looks good. Justin is watching from YouTube. This is looking great. Awesome. Yeah, we agree. Lots coming down the pipe here in the next little bit here. In terms of features, we have a file transfer feature which we've been using, the HQ Outer Stream TalkBack. We've been using the studio chat down the bottom right-hand corner, which if you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, there's a link that you can visit to come in here and be in here with us if you want, on a desktop in Google Chrome at the moment. We'll be doing lots more of these webinars throughout the next week. We've got one tomorrow that's really cool. I'm going to be sitting down with Jeff Silverman, who does Dolby Atmos mixes, and we're going to pick apart a Dolby Atmos mix using Sessionwire's stereo stream to listen to the binaural output of his Dolby Atmos renderer.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. So yeah, pay attention for details about that. What this can output that. Yes, it can output whatever you put into it. So if you can get it down to 2 channels and put it in Sessionwire, it can output that the exact same way as it goes in. And in an upcoming version of Sessionwire next year, we'll have multi-channel streaming as well. So you can actually stream your discrete outputs from your renderer, 7.1.4 minimum for Dolby Atmos, to the other side so that they can bring those streams into their machine. And yeah, yay. That's what we're thinking. Okay, you got a guitar thing you want to do?
Just, yeah, I just. Like that, just kind of simple. And then. Yeah, so something like that. I'll just mess with it. Oh, what about the tambourine track?
Oh yeah, you want that?
Yeah, sure. I can. You can just drag it over here.
Look out! Holy smokes, Brendan! Calm down. Too much coffee today. Caleb V, hello. Oh, here he comes. Coming in. Finder.
Hey, Caleb.
Computer. Go. So just so I'm clear, for listening or recording, there's no need for the app on either end anymore. That is 100% correct. No need for the app anymore.
That is the state of things. And
yeah, and in fact, there's a new batch of plugins when you get onboarded to this version that is no longer locked to anything. Currently, the plugins are locked to the application. You have to have the app running in order for the plugins to connect, but there's a new batch of plugins coming that is not connected to anything, so you can use them for a Sessionwire call. You can use them to route audio from your DAW to OBS. Whatever you want, you can use them for anything. So new batch of plugins coming. No need to install anything in order to connect on a Sessionwire call, unless you need to connect your DAW, in which case you install the plugins, and away you go.
How much counting do you have on the tambo?
Same as the drums.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, my little tickle trunk's back there. I should go get some more percussion-y type stuff. You do your thing. I'm going to go
Okay, so I didn't share my screen for that, which is my bad, but basically all I did was I got the file from Brendan right here, tambourine 01 wave, and I went dragged it into Logic, just like that. I don't need that. And then I just dragged it back to 0, and I'm good to go. Now I got his tambourine track and his drum track, and I can carry on from there. So what I was thinking is just using this tone again, second tone, my second bias FX experiment. I just added this echo tape on there, so there's a bit of a tail. And I came up with kind of a little melody that I'm just going to throw down on here just for kicks, just so you guys can see how this all works. And again, I've got the Sessionwire Stereo Out plugin just on the stereo out of Logic. So I show the mixer just so you see what's going on here. So stereo out, there's the Sessionwire Send plugin. So anything that's going on in Logic is coming out and going over the high quality audio channel, and you can hear it, which is kind of amazing in high quality. So you can run it into your studio monitors, whatever. And you could say, hey, Robin, that's kind of a cool tone, but maybe you want to do this or that. Isn't that the experience though? Sometimes you go in and you're just like, oh, this is going to be amazing. Everybody's going to love it. And then you do the thing and somebody's like, yeah, but you're like, nah.
Yep.
Okay. So, okay, I don't know where this is going to go, but let's just give it a shot. I'm going to mute my talkback. I got lost in the weeds, but anyway.
Took it to Noodle Town.
Took it to Noodle Town, yeah. I couldn't help myself. I was just like, ah. Then there's that F major 7.
While you were doing that, I had this is the bad thing about having a bunch of toys around. We'll do a little bit of that on there too. You want to do another guitar?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I'm just not. I have no idea what I'm going to do going into the F major 7 part there. F major 7, E minor 7, A minor 7, and then G over A. I don't know. It would take a bit of work to kind of get something that's inspirational. So right now we're still kind of in.
Oh, somebody asked,
Sure.
can Brendan turn up a bit? What are you referring to? What's too quiet? Is it my voice or is it the my computer audio? Could be my voice.
You're coming through loud and clear here, but
Yeah, I think just to YouTube, it looks like it might be a little bit on the quiet side. I could see if I could do some. While you're doing your thing, Robin, I'll monkey around with that here.
yeah, and if they weren't on YouTube,
Yeah, come on in here.
you got your own mixer in here. You can actually do whatever you want.
There's a link. You know what I'll do? I'll see if I can send that link to the YouTube stream.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Don't be shy. Come on in. The water's fine.
Let's see here.
Okay.
Send that link.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I just know I'm going to mess that up. Don't be shy. Come on in. The water's fine. Okay, let me just have another go here. Okay. I just know I'm going to mess that up. Okay, let me just. And we're off to flail land. Oops. I forgot to do my talk back. We got to get auto mute working.
We really do. Yeah, we really do.
Yeah.
How's my voice now, everybody? It looks like it's going out to YouTube quite a bit stronger. It's probably louder for you too, Robin, but
No, it's fine.
okay, great. We also in Sessionwire, when you join the session, there's a little mixer tray that you can adjust all of the levels of everybody's voices with. I should say you can trim them. You can't add gain to them, but you can trim them.
But it's very useful because we all know in the age of online meetings, there's always that one guy. Like
most of the time, that guy is me. Can't help but start yelling.
Well, it's yeah. Anyway, you can do whatever you want. The goal there, just for those of you out there that are have experience in the studio, is like having a Mackie mixer or a Behringer, whatever. If it's a really expensive studio, then it's a Neve sidecar.
Yeah,
But
right.
no, just having something there for your monitor mix where you can adjust your own personal Q mix, a bunch of stems coming into the mixer, and that's kind of the model that this is based around. So everybody that connects on a Sessionwire call has their own little mixer, and they can do whatever they want, and it doesn't affect anybody else. But the producer has some superpowers that can do things. You want to explain a bit about that, Brendan?
Yeah, the superpowers. I'm just getting all kinds of notifications from people here. I want to make sure that we don't miss any comments in YouTube as well. Copy and there's a slapback on who? Who has a slapback? Probably me. It's probably me that has a slapback. I'll tell you why. Because you're hearing my voice both through my talkback stream and through all the microphones in my room going through the high quality audio stream. So if I turn off my monitoring in Pro Tools, it should sound clean now. Let me know if it does. So superpowers, yeah, that's what it is, right? So superpowers, on my side of the screen, We'll stop Robin's screen sharing here. I think I can do that. I have superpowers. I'll stop it. Boom. So because we're in my studio, I'm the producer. I can basically manage this call just like a real studio. If somebody's, being belligerent in the studio, there's the option to kick them out. If I click on the dots on Robin's screen, I can kick Robin, which I'm not going to do because we're getting along just fine today.
It wasn't that bad, that part.
Yeah, no, and we get along all the time. It's great. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it is cool. You can kick anybody. As well, I also have what we call, it says, upgrade my plan to enterprise plan to use remote mute. So I will have to upgrade this account. It's a different account than my other one, so I'll have to upgrade this. But we have remote mute, which means that I can go and mute anybody in this call for everybody in this call. So if somebody was, again, they're talking in the background and their talkback microphone, I can mute them for everybody in the call. And if I were to unmute them, it won't automatically unmute their microphone. It will say, hey, you now have permission to unmute, which is a great thing for privacy. Sometimes things can be said in the studio.
Yeah, somebody's talking trash.
Exactly. Dell asks, how many people can we have on this? Right now, in this version, what you're looking at right now, we can have 200 people in here. Hypothetically, though, with further product tiers, we're going to have a couple of different product tiers moving forward. In the higher ones, you can host masterclasses and webinars with thousands of people watching using the link that you're using, the watch and listen only link. And then the in-call link where you actually bring them in with video and they're part of this conversation with video and talkback and everything. That's a different scenario, but still, hypothetically hundreds, thousands.
Yeah, the limits, the hypothetical limits, and please know we have not tested this because the hardest thing is to try and get enough people together at one time to actually test this out. But the hypothetical limit for video in call, like me and Brendan and I in the studio, we could have hypothetically 1,000 people. Now, there's a lot of user interface issues that surface with something like that. So it's not really practical to produce a song with 1,000 people unless you're going for a Guinness World Book of Records thing or something.
That's right. Yeah.
But the listen only link is really where the excitement is for me, because you could have 2, 3, 5, 6, whatever number of people you want on here working on a project, and you could have 10,000 people actually watching and commenting on the chat like you're doing right now. So that's pretty amazing, I think, and it's going to open up a lot of opportunities for people to do really cool stuff like monetize, this. If somebody wants to go and see their favorite band actually working in the studio, people could actually monetize that process if they wanted to go out and do an album with no safety net. And as I used to say when I taught, dare to suck. You gotta get out there and just kind of put it out there. Apparently, Jeff Beck is really good at that.
Well, and that's what we're doing right now. We're just kind of hanging out here, putting something together. This is what it would feel like. And again, I can't stress this enough. And I'm singling you out, Daniel Moskovich. Daniel. Next time, tomorrow, we're hosting another webinar. We're hosting 2, actually. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Thursday, we're hosting 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. Friday and Saturday. If you have time, come and visit us in this session. Use that link I just put in the comments and come in here and kind of poke around and have a look at some of the features and try the meters, the level adjustment in the meters and everything. It's quite a bit different than watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually being in here with us.
Totally different experience, yeah.
Yeah. What you're seeing on YouTube right now is my entire desktop. And what you would see if you were in this session would essentially be this window right here, except much higher quality than on YouTube. And I'm hoping that the stream going to YouTube sounds okay, but I can guarantee you it doesn't sound as good as things sound in here, as I'm sure Dell can attest to. Singling Dell out too. Singling everyone out. Anybody. So good to see you. Great to see you in these live streams. And again, just to sum up what's coming this week, tomorrow morning, Robin and I are doing the same thing. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm being joined by Jeff Silverman, and Robin, also will be in the stream. We'll be listening and talking to Jeff about his Dolby Atmos mix process, and we'll be listening to his binaural stream from his Dolby Atmos renderer, which will be really cool. We'll be able to hear him moving sounds and objects around our head. So that stream tomorrow afternoon, desktop, Google Chrome, and wear headphones. Binaural streams are for headphones. So be sure you're checking that out. Thursday morning, I'm going to have a band in here with me, and we're going to be producing and recording a song here with Robin on the other side of the call, adding his flavor to everything. And
what flavor is that?
Awesome. The guitar flavor I love too, but I'm really trying to avoid putting Chrome on my computer. It's funny. What's the aversion to Chrome? Somebody answer that for me.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that. I've used Chrome for a long time. I mean, there may be aversion to. You can use Edge if you'd rather use another large global multinational tech corporation's product.
Or Opera, another
or Opera, yeah.
giant global
Opera should work.
multinational corporation.
It's not a Chrome issue. It's actually a WebKit versus Chromium issue. And Chromium is the open source kind of engine that Edge uses for Microsoft and Opera uses and Chrome uses. WebKit is a different animal, and that's what Safari uses, and that's what Chrome actually uses on iOS. So it's really an issue of the actual core open source browser code, not the individual products. So you can use Edge, you can use Chrome, you can use Opera to join us with and get the full functionality. The WebKit experience is going to be slightly different in that you won't have a separate output for you won't be able to route your talk back to one output and your high quality to another output. You'll just be able to route both of them to a single output, like your studio monitors or your headphones or whatever, which is for 99% of the time, it's fine because that's what I'm doing right now. Brendan's voice is coming to me to my audio interface, and so is his high quality audio. So it's just I won't have any in Safari. You won't have any control over splitting those two outputs, whereas in Chrome you can split them out, and the same with iOS. But you will be able to stream something to Sessionwire on iOS, and then go jump in your car and Bluetooth it into your stereo system to check the mix or whatever, which is kind of one of the most requested features for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I want to check the mix in my car, or you're at the airport and somebody wants to run an Atmos mix by you, and you got your headphones in, and you can just sit there and listen and communicate with them. Wow, that's.
And we do have plans for an iOS and Android app at some point as well in the fairly distant future. We've got a few things to kind of button down and look after, and but I thought I would ask that because it comes up more often than not. I don't want to put Chrome on my computer, and that's something that's good for us to know. Is what is stopping you from doing that? And
is the viewer that doesn't want to put Chrome on it, are they Mac or Windows based?
That too. So
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if they're Windows, then Edge, that will work just great.
Edge
and you can get. I didn't even know this until 3 weeks ago. You can get Edge for Mac OS too.
There you go.
I had no idea. But same thing under the hood, Chromium.
Yeah. What else can we touch on? Anybody have any questions before we kind of forge ahead? We've got about 10 minutes left in this stream today. We want to thank everybody for joining again. We'll be doing this again tomorrow. Just let me pull my calendar up here, and I will tell you what times. And you can find our live stream again on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. However, please copy that link, put it in Google Chrome or Edge or Opera on a desktop, and join us in here in the studio if you can. It's way different and a much better experience than just watching a live stream, because we want to interact with you. We want to speak with you. You can chat with us down in the chat, the studio chat, and ask us any questions that you might have. The live streams tomorrow. Tomorrow is 9 a.m. PST, so 11 a.m. Central 12 a.m. Eastern, I think.
Did you say 9 a.m. PST?
9 a.m. PST. Is that too early?
Can we talk?
We can talk. And so,
No,
yeah,
it's fine.
it might just be me, and that's fine. We can talk about all
No,
kinds of things.
I'm there.
The second one is at 1 p.m. PST, and that's with Jeff Silverman going over Dolby Atmos mixing. Have you tried using a second computer for the call to reserve resources with minimal lag? Yeah, I mean, we can definitely do that. The downside to that is that you can't share your screen anymore. When you use that second computer to use Sessionwire, you can't share your screen. It's just a camera, right? So, and also with this version of Sessionwire that's completely browser-based, the load on the CPU is almost negligible. There's really no reason to run it on a second computer anymore, unless there's connectivity issues or whatever. You could through NDI or with an A10 Mini. Oh yeah, you for sure could. If you have that kind of hardware, but most people don't. So those kinds of setups are usually reserved for giant studios that have budgets for that kind of thing, or really, really techie people. But most people, should just run Sessionwire on their computer natively and route the talkback in and out of the web browser. No need to use our plugins for that unless necessary. I know you're not giant, but I know what kind of gear you've got. Come on, Del. We've connected. I know what you're up to. Anybody that wants to follow Del Mixed It on Instagram, go check him out. He's posting all kinds of content about filming and broadcasting and mixing and all kinds of stuff. It's really great.
Well, for some people that have huge rigs with like many, many tracks and big sessions and all kinds of DSP requirements and stuff, they're really pushing their systems. If the bulk of what they're trying to do with Sessionwire is let people listen to what they're doing, then it would be no problem to connect on Sessionwire on a laptop and just send a digital audio stream over to the laptop and out over Sessionwire or whatever. So it's, I mean, it's doable thing, but you do lose there are some gotchas with that approach for sure. And if you can manage it with the CPU, then it's way better experience having it right on your machine. Just got to be, don't have 37 tabs open on Chrome like I currently have.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
But I'm really impressed with our own product here because it's not like walking on eggshells. You know what I mean? Like it's working like a beast. So
yeah. Del, you know how to get a hold of me. Send me an email. Let's get you set up. Okay, we've got about 5 minutes here. I suppose we can kind of wrap up sending now. Perfect. A couple things. I guess we touched on the drum miking thing and auditioning sounds and samples and things like that. And I think one of the things we should do in the next stream with you is get you to go into bias effects and monkey around with a few things.
Yeah, I'll have to do some wood shitting on that and on my actual guitar as well, but
in all the spare time that you have right now,
and all my spare 5 minutes. But yeah, no, it would be good to go through there's a lot of things that we could do, like write down. I have this much maligned amplifier. It's a Fender Cyber Twin and it was a total failure as a product, I guess, but I think this thing is amazing because it's got 4 completely independent tube preamp circuits in it that are all switched by relays. And it's got analog pots on it that are motorized. And then it's got this DSP thing, and people were kind of like, wailing on the DSP not being so great and everything like that. But it's also got a MIDI input. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be using MIDI control of the tube preamps in my Cyber Twin and use that as the front end preamp. And then I can do whatever I want in terms of amp sim or whatever in the DAW, but I should be able to get some very tasty sounds out of that.
Love it.
And it's cool because you hit a preset and all of a sudden the knobs start twisting around and the preamp switches from a blackface to a deluxe or champ, or I can't remember the 4 preamp circuits that are in there, but anyway, cool stuff. And there's lots of opportunity for us to sort of get into into the weeds with recording, not because like Sessionwire, the thing about it is that's so great is it kind of just disappears, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get on to doing your business, whatever that is, recording, writing, and Sessionwire is there. You don't really have to talk about it, or it's simple.
Yeah.
Everything else about recording,
Not so
not
simple.
not so simple. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think we could probably call it here for the day. Thanks again to everybody for joining in the studio. Del, great to see you again. Everybody in the YouTube stream, everybody on Facebook, thank you for joining. We really appreciate it. We will be doing a stream tomorrow, 9 a.m. PST, and then another one later in the afternoon. You can find all of the events on our Facebook channel. If you have questions, reach out to us at support@sessionwire.com. We are running a Black Friday promotion right now, which we didn't really mention. I didn't really mention too much. I gotta pin that in the Facebook comments and in the chat. But we are running a promotion. You can get this version, this brand new version of Sessionwire for $99 for the first year if you sign up for version 2, which is publicly available right now. Use the code SWBF22 when you sign up for our annual artist subscription. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, support@sessionwire.com, info@sessionwire.com. You can go to sessionwire.com and there's a little chat bubble. You can get at us that way too. Lots of ways to get a hold of us. Please do. We're happy to help.
Yeah, and you'll find we're one of the most accessible companies out there in terms of interacting with our customers. Because, like I said before, we're kind of doing this for us, but we're doing it for you.
Because
too.
we are you.
We are you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I've got some extra music here.
Okay.
So now you can talk over it and
True.
do your thing.
Fade this
Thanks,
out.
everybody.
I don't have an outro screen for the stream, but thanks everybody for joining. We're going to do the old CBC fade at the end of this where we just... That tambourine is smoking hot. Needs a little reverb and a little blend.
You know, I just forgot to mention, there's also pre-metering on and post-metering on the mixer. So that's kind of cool too. Anyway.
Geeking out.
Geeking out.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. It's been a slice, and we'll see any of you that are adventurous at 9 a.m. in the morning. And again, I would just echo what Brendan said. If you can, please join us using Chrome or Edge or Opera with the link, without all the gobbledygook on it. If you click through, Facebook adds a whole bunch of stuff to the link, and it can mess things up a bit. But if you copy and paste the link, you can join us here on Sessionwire and experience more of the platform. It's worth your time, I think.
Absolutely. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
See you tomorrow.